Well, it's the morning of day 53 on one of the very best trips I've ever been on. The teamwork on this trip has been fantastic. It's been really fun to watch these young folks just really come into their own. They're learning adventure skills, they're learning driving skills, they're learning team dynamic skills, how to work for each other and work for other people, because they're ultimately working for me. This in a lot of ways is the four of them's first job outside of family jobs. It's been fantastic to watch them grow and become more and more of who they are and find what they love.
Expedition Overland Season 5, the Nordic series, is presented by General Tire. For whatever you do, General Tire delivers. And in association with Patriot Campers, the ultimate in overland trailers. And by X-Overland's official apparel partner, Vertex. We have said goodbye to our dear friend Torfi, and we're headed back into the remote F-roads to the west so that we can start making our way back down towards the southern end of Iceland.
This is finally a cup that one of my fingers can fit through. All the holes have been so tiny on each cup.
There's bread. It's really good.
Looks excellent. Nice spittle.
You can't really see it as well on this map, but I'll just show you for fun on here. We are here. And then we were looking for a route to take us to the ring road. So we can cross here and go through this section. It's over the river. And then there's another kind of
We could pick up fuel here.
route. Yep.
Right there.
Or we need to use the jerry cans.
Yeah.
This is a long route though.
It's pretty long.
It is long. Yeah, it's like, what did we think?
If you cut
200 miles. Oh. 182 miles.
And a full tank of fuel is 250.
Again, it's probably a little under 200 now.
So if we used our jerry cans now, or started to put them in, we could potentially, and that 250 clear to the ring road, or just to,
Yep.
I mean, it would at least eliminate our jerry cans.
And that helps in this place over here.
Just a couple days ago, we didn't have enough fuel. Now we are finding out that we have the opposite problem. If we don't calculate our fuel properly from this campsite forward, we may end up at the shipping port with too much gas. And that's a little bit of history I don't care to repeat.
Well, good.
It's a plan.
All right, well, let's go see the area right here where we're at. Let's go check that out and go see some more Iceland.
We are camped at Havaravallur, a beautiful geothermal hotspot and nature reserve connecting the north and south of Iceland. This highland section features boiling and spurting hot pools, which reminds us of a place much closer to home with similar hotspots, Yellowstone National Park.
It's a science experiment.
I like that one. It's like a little mini crater.
They're like hot tubs. Well, hot tubs.
Don't sit in that hot tub. It has been awesome to travel with Cyrus now that he's 17. He's got his driver's license. He hasn't even had his driver's license a full year yet. And here he is in Iceland, pulling trailers, going through river crossings by himself with trailers. You forget how capable a lot of times our kids can be and how soon they can be responsible for heavy things. What makes this one just blow off steam and all the other ones are water? You've got to wonder what's going on underground.
Yeah.
Well, I can tell you. Geothermal hot pools are heated by energy from the Earth's core. Magma heats up underwater, which rises to the surface, creating simmering hot pools and explosive geysers. These boiling hot pools are a result of what's taking place deep beneath the surface. Tanner has been teaching Dan the essentials of landscape photography, and maybe these boiling pools are the perfect subject to get the epic photo Dan's been trying to capture.
I already like the composition because you have the sky, the glacier, and that you're not just focused on that or that.
Yeah. I've been trying to keep my mind open and learn as much as I can from the people, but then also from the wealth of knowledge that's here in the crew. Everyone's got amazing skill sets, and I'm trying to pick up on as much of them as I can and learn as much as I can. You couldn't put money to learn any of this stuff. Sensors all messed up, so I can't do much, but...
Maybe Iceland isn't the only one with things happening under the surface.
Iceland, the land of fire and ice. Wow, what a pleasure it has been. Yeah.
You got this.
I think on other trips, I definitely have a well-rounded skill set, but it doesn't include photography or videography. And so I kind of felt like, why am I here a little bit?
Oftentimes our biggest personal hurdles are the ones going on within.
Is that side good?
Yeah.
The team has full confidence in Ashley's navigation skills, and I suspect this portion of the trip will prove it to her as well.
So we've been watching the awning for a while now. Sucker's been on a lot of rough roads, and the metal, as it's gone back and forth over thousands of miles, has rounded out and pushed this bottom piece down. This will probably be a thing that we send back to Patriot campers on feedback on how to make this stronger, because we found a weak point. They love getting feedback like that. But our fix today, our initial fix was Torvi actually pulled this down at one point just a couple days ago, and it's already on a couple hundred miles more of dirt has gone back. So the metal's just really weak. So we have resourced mud flap that we found on the road, and
Wedge it
we're
in
gonna
there.
wedge it in there. Well, we're gonna lengthen this.
Yeah. You can cut it in half and use it on both sides.
Yeah, let's do that. It's a bit too big. Okay,
Perfect.
it's a lot better.
Oh yeah,
Way better.
way better.
Clone, how's that awning looking in the mirrors? Shaking a bunch, or is it looking a little bit tighter?
Definitely looking tighter.
Good.
Ashley has already taken the full weight of being the trip's navigator, and she's excited to lead us to a place that she is personally thrilled to see. Kerlingerfjall is a mountain range located in Iceland's central highlands, a geothermal wonderland of steaming vents, boiling mud pools, and rainbow-colored hot springs. It boasts a stunning array of colors, ranging from vivid shades of red, pink, green, and golden yellow. Or so I've been told.
I wish I wasn't colorblind. I hear there's a lot of great, fantastic colors around here. That's the whole reason we came here, is, you know, to see the colors and stuff. And so I can only imagine what you guys are seeing.
My colorblindness prevents me from seeing much variety of vibrancy in red, green, brown, and orange. So being in a place like this and knowing what I could see is sometimes frustrating. But the colors aren't the only reason this stop was on Ashley's list. Steam vents called fumaroles release the buildup of underground pressure, rumbling under our feet.
That's a lot of steam coming out of there. And like in a picture, you would just see like, oh, it's steaming, but you can see the amount of volume of stuff just spewing out of the ground.
There's so much happening under the surface here. Way more than meets the eye.
One thing that was a little bit challenging for me this trip was homesickness, I would say. Just school was starting up and just seeing what my friends were up to, but also I'm up to this. traveling around Iceland and Europe, so it kind of balances out, but once in a while I would miss home, especially when my mom left. That was a little bit challenging, but we're in the last few days here, and this is the last day, so I'm looking forward to going home also, but I also don't want to leave, because once I know I get on that airplane, I'll just want to be right back here.
It's like Nordcap all over again.
It's colder than Nordcap. Feels colder, like it's got this, the air has more bite to it. Well, we could spend a lot of time here, but I think we should go see something else out of the wind.
What? You don't like the wind?
It's really nice here and all.
Yeah, my snot's just getting...
Yeah, I saw it.
We gained a lot of elevation, didn't we?
Again, go all the way up.
We have received word of an opportunity across the island that we would love to take advantage of if it all works out. But it's on the southeastern side of the island, which will require us to go right back through the center of Iceland, and it's a bit of a gamble to dedicate some of our last days to it.
We've got 2 huts that are around 50, or like 42 to 50 miles.
Ashley calculates that it will take us 2 days to get there from here, if nothing goes wrong. But we all feel it will be worth the effort.
So we burned in here pretty good last night, put a lot of miles on. What are you guys sitting on fuel? Orion is a tick over a quarter tank.
Colin's at 3/4 and I'm pumping auxiliary, which is currently at half. Adigan's at exactly half a tank.
So F-35 dates back to Viking times. So as we are doing, going from north to south, people took that track for the annual Althing meeting at Thingvellir, hopefully I said that right, in southern Iceland, which is pretty cool to be doing that now.
That's super cool.
Maybe in there by the outhouse?
In here is good.
Sweet.
Okay, so tonight I'm making butter chicken and rice and naan, which is pita bread, but don't tell anybody. But I'm just putting some extra red peppers in because it said on the bottle to do that, so I did it. I think it'll be good. Smells pretty good. To warm up though.
Here. You know what time it is? Beer's time.
Beer time.
The biggest problem with this camp is as of yesterday, the after 8s have all been consumed.
Thank you, Ashley.
I'm loving this camp.
Right?
This is all I've wanted. Just a nice little spot in the dirt by ourselves.
I know.
I've said it many times, I had super high expectations about Iceland, but it was just everything I could have expected of the beauty and the black lava rocks with the vibrant green and the hills and glaciers and everything was exceeded, like tenfold better than what I could have imagined. And then even better than all of that, and what I think my biggest realization was, traveling and having an excitement to see a place is one thing, but having that and combining it with good people, whether it's people you meet while you're there or people you're going with, the people you're with affect how you remember something so much more than just the beauty, because you can make it there on a good day or a bad day, and of course it's fun either way, like in Nordcap. But when you're there with good people and they're fun people and you like being around them, it just adds all these stamps in my brain at least of like why it was so much fun to be there. So I think since we're all having hot chocolate, in the absence of the after eights, the Viscounts will have to do.
What is a Viscount?
It's like a circle-y mint chocolate.
Okay, so it's pretty close to the same thing.
It's fairly close. I'd say it's a before 8 style.
Okay.
It's not quite the after 8.
So it has a little malt to it?
It's just not so after 80. It's not after hours level.
Gotcha. Well, does the council approve that the Viscount can stand in place at this moment in time of an after 8 after a 10-day period of not having after 8s has passed?
While having hot chocolate.
Checks all
While having hot chocolate.
Yes.
But only for 5
Say,
years.
all in favor, say After 8.
After 8.
Well, since it is the will of the council.
I don't even know if I'm on the council, but I said after 8.
After an excellent evening together, we wake up in the morning to some good news, and our meetup with another expedition is a go. All right, well, this morning we've got some good news that some friends of ours from Alubox are in Iceland, and they're with a bunch of scientists, and that means that we can go join with them. They've asked us to go see them, but the problem is they're on the kind of the opposite end of the island, but we're kind of headed that way anyway, so we're going to try and get over there and see what they're up to over the next couple of days. They asked us to be there in 2 days. We need to cover a lot of miles in these 2 days, and Ashley has a route picked out that will balance our need to cover a lot of ground and still allow us to experience the best of Iceland.
This is where they filmed the faking of the moon landing. I wouldn't be surprised.
Looks like we're gonna get a quick photo and then we'll pick up the Rickard.
All right, once you guys are in position, we'll have Adigan turn its lights on and then we'll do another take here.
Copy. Lights on. You're good there, clone. Nice work. We're rolling.
I've always been intrigued with Iceland. I've always wanted to come here as a photographer. The landscapes are just so surreal compared to anywhere else. I can't get over how fast and diverse the landscape would change as we're traveling and overlanding through it. It's an incredible area. As a photographer, it's definitely a must-go-to destination.
Clay wanted to know what sort of difficulties we each had along the way on this trip. And it's tough because kind of like a well-oiled machine at this point. Tanner put together some trucks that were just bomber. Our sleep systems are super comfortable. And everybody knows their roles and everybody's good at their role.
There you go. Nice job, camera guys. Keep filming this.
It's crazy. I think that's a testament to Clay and the team he put together.
Here it is, 30-second warning. Shot completed.
It's clear that each member brings a unique perspective and set of skills to the expedition that have created a harmonious and efficient team.
I'm in a good spot right here. Lights and fogs, you're good to go. Good control.
So I think, Peter, you're up on 40. We have one Canadian out of the vehicle about to get back in, maybe.
All right, we're rolling.
We have to burn off all of the fuel within the jerry cans before we ship in 10 days. So the balance has been like, how much do we put in jerrys and keep in reserves, but yet we have to burn them off. So in reality, we don't have enough fuel to get to the next fuel station currently with how much back and forth driving we've done due to filming. And so now we're gonna put 2 jerrys in, which is 10 gallons. And we're gonna take them off the top of Orion because we wanna remove the weight off the top of the vehicle first. I'll make the vehicle safer. So if you've never siphoned or used a siphon, Cyrus was just asking. This one has a glass ball in there, around brass. And then as you push down, fuel comes up in, and then as you push back up, it seals right here like a check valve. And then do that enough, and it creates a vacuum. Is that technical, like a vacuum? And then you got a low pressure, high to low to siphon below.
Yeah, and it just uses gravity.
It's got to be lower than here. Sorry, yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Get the air out of it.
And there she goes.
Boom. And you should hear it singing like that.
It's a great noise.
Almost done. There it is. Boom. 5 gallons.
Wow.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
There you go.
Thank you.
With jerry cans empty and truck tanks full, we should have a smooth ride the rest of the way into camp.
How are you doing with the homesickness then? Did the dance just make it worse?
Yeah.
Well,
but there's nothing I can't go back in time. So.
What? Yeah. What do you keep saying in your mind?
I don't know. I just sad I couldn't be there for it because like Keenan and Landon all went with.
I can tell that the team is soaking up the remaining time in the vehicles. I think we all sense the end of the journey is near. The time in the rigs has allowed Cyrus and I to bond more and more as we have tackled this adventure together. I'm proud of Cyrus for being able to open up and check in with his dad. That's not always easy, and these moments are some of my favorites from the trip. It's always good to see what is going on under the hood with each other.
But they still found stuff. So it was all people.
And speaking of things under the hood.
What do you think that sound is?
I don't know. It sounds like it's over there. That's the driver's side.
Yeah, it's definitely outside. That to me, my suspicion is that is a loose battery. That's the sound of a loose battery. I've had one or two before.
Okay.
That's a stop and fix. The truck needs a battery.
Yeah.
Let's see. We'll go see. We're gonna have to stop and pull over and check out a battery here real quick.
Why is it?
Huh, something's ticking on. Something's popping.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Lift with your back.
Yep. Keep your legs straight.
Straight, leg straight.
Okay.
Yeah, lift and twist with your back.
I think I found the problem, guys.
The battery came out. Remove that.
We have quickly determined that the mounting hardware has come slightly loose and may have worn out some components through vibration.
This pin.
Oh, wow.
See how it's cracked right there?
Rounded it out.
I bet you that's why it's going squeak, squeak, squeak. I bet you anything, because it's got a lip right there, a little bit.
It could be this could be the squeaking.
Yeah, I bet you anything.
That's what it sounded like. It sounded like threads going up and down.
So, that being said, it's gonna shift this way. So what it's gonna do is just reposition itself to push against the side again when we put that battery back in there.
Let's put some of that mat under it.
Yeah. Well,
set it down there and call it a day.
Fits in.
I mean, at least I know what it is. It's not.
Yeah, it's not
nothing
catastrophic.
That's gonna, affect the truck.
Yeah. As we, what is that?
This is
That's gorgeous.
This is licorice. It's Icelandic. People love their black licorice, so they come in big strips like this.
Nice.
Just eat it. Use it to isolate batteries, stuff like that.
You have a factory corner on this? Oh, baby.
This Icelandic licorice is actually a mudflap scrap or trash that we picked up alongside the road, just in case. We're always on the lookout to pick up a little trash, and sometimes that trash comes in handy.
Here we go.
Okay. All right, we should be good. The rattle was not anything catastrophic, but we took the time to fix it because anytime you have movement or play, it can just get worse and worse and it could become catastrophic, so we wanted to prevent that from happening.
My grandpa used to always say, if you listen to your truck, it'll talk to you. But you got to be listening. So when you hear a weird squeak and there's something, you just got to stop and start shaking things and looking at it. And yeah, I mean, that was a simple fix. As Torvi would say, stay ahead of the problem. That's staying ahead of the problem. Identify it, fix it before it becomes something that really does cause a problem to the vehicle, like the battery dislodging or something ungrounding or whatever. If you don't know what it is, you got to fix it.
The nature of our time on this expedition exposes our weaknesses and our vulnerabilities, whether under the hood of our car, the crust of the earth, or the walls we personally put up to guard ourselves. If not attended to, something seemingly inconsequential has the potential to become catastrophic.
All right, so we've been chatting with Soren from Alubox about meeting up with him and the researchers on the east side of Iceland. Based on one photo with the ice in the lagoon, it looks pretty cool. But it'll just change some of our plans today. It means that we have to kind of rush through today and hammer down tomorrow morning. It's a bit of driving, but that sounds awesome.
Prepare for rain.
The rain is supposedly going to stop tonight, and then tomorrow, fingers crossed, it's nice. We're going to have sheep to keep us company, ray us to bed. Bad.
Peach tradition came upon us because at one time on the trip we were finding ourselves with not a lot of fruit. So we were scared that we would get scurvy. And so all of a sudden we had tons of canned peaches everywhere. And there was always this weird time between, before 8s and then after 8s. So we decided in order to neutralize the amounts of cans of peaches that we have, that they would become ceremonious 7:30 peaches. Cyrus?
It's peach time. Peaches.
7:30 peach time.
Gonna be as cool as Tanner.
Oh my god.
All right, it is a rainy night, but it's early, so I'm offloading footage. It's only 8 o'clock. Be done by 9 or 9:30 maybe. We're at a campsite, so that means I'm gonna have a shower, but since nobody's gonna film that, this might be the last time we see it till tomorrow. Early night for us tonight, and I think everybody's pretty stoked to climb into bed and just wait out the rain. Tomorrow's supposed to be nice and clear.
The weather has cleared up a bit, revealing a waterfall not far from camp. Tanner thinks it's the prime moment for Dan to capture the photo for his wall back at home. And the time to get the perfect shot is getting short.
Make us proud.
For Dan, this is a bucket list item, and we are in the business of checking those boxes.
I didn't just want to have phone photos, I wanted to capture these moments because I love them so much and be able to look back on them. So I'm really glad that I was able to learn so much from them. I feel like I've definitely learned a lot, and that doesn't stop here, and it's something I truly love, so I'm really excited to take that from this trip and beyond.
We will have to wait and see if Dan got his photo, because we have a boat to catch. We are headed to a unique research site with the IK Foundation team of scientists. We have connected with them through our friend Soren, who is the founder of Alubox in Denmark. Soren was called upon to help develop a field station that could be easily transported, well-insulated, robust, and capable of withstanding the harsh Arctic conditions. New terra firma has been uncovered in the last 50 years that perhaps no man has ever stepped foot on. And it begs for continued research that was actually started by a group of scientists in the late 1700s, known as the Linnaeus Apostles. There were many scientific apostles under Carl Linnaeus, a botanist from Sweden who formalized binomial nomenclature, a modern system of naming organisms. He sent out scientists the world over to record and bring back their findings. One of the apostles was Daniel Solander, who accompanied the famous Captain Cook's voyage around the world in 1768. Solander's travels eventually found him here in Iceland in 1772. His recordings from that time serve as a historical record of what was. Fast forward to today, and the Bridge Builder expedition is striving to build upon the apostles' knowledge that has proven critical to the insight into the developments of the world we live in today. And this station will pick up the torch for future generations by simply watching and sending its data to be referenced for centuries to come. We have been invited to discuss the expedition over a cup of tea.
Things are moving.
And we're specifically instructed to bring our own mugs.
So we got people from, 2 people from Denmark, 1 people from Sweden, and the rest is from United Kingdom, Scotland. That's Lars.
Hello.
Hi. He's the mastermind.
This gentleman is Lars Hansen, the lead of the IK Foundation. He's a very direct man with a lot of weight on his shoulders as he directs the Bridge Builders expedition. It's an expedition that focuses on putting these stations in critical areas around the globe for generational observation purposes. And it's an honor to meet him.
So this is quite unique. You are one of the few people who have do that.
Wow.
And the flora and the animals who are coming here. We can observe everything here. And you can see everything online in the future.
Wow.
Yes.
These stations operate out of these alu boxes for up to 1 year without any human disturbance to the area. And that's why this location must remain undisclosed.
Probably about 20 people have been.
We're in a spot that nobody is really allowed, and so we're stepping on ground that used to be under a massive amount of ice from a glacier. It's only been 20, 30 some years since the ice receded. So this is special and delicious English tea. It's pretty cool.
What kind of tea is it?
Oh, Yorkshire tea.
Gold?
Yorkshire Gold. The best of the English teas. I have no idea, I don't drink tea.
Good to see you too. Thank you.
The time has come to bid farewell to the research team, but we have one final treat in store before we make our way back to the trucks. An up-close look at Iceland's largest glacier. There's nothing that makes you feel the pressure of time more than when you realize how small your time is within history. And having a glacier whose ice is shedding into the ocean that was formed hundreds of years ago brings that lesson front and center. I think it's safe to say that today we used our time wisely and our learnings and experiences will go forward with us and help us in the future to understand the past.
Incredible. So cool.
It's insane. I can't even really talk right now. I'm kind of in la la land. Like, this is everything I've always loved.
This road is fantastic.
We have made plans for what seems to be just another camp, but the team is soon to realize time seems to have slipped through our fingers.
You know, just now thinking about it, this might be our last most remote camp, because our scheduled camp for tomorrow is just kind of a spot along the way to Reykjavik. This might be it, guys.
Say it ain't so, Clay.
Oh, no.
Oh man, I didn't look at it that way, but I sure look forward to it. Nice remote camp all together as a team.
If this is going to be the last one, I might just slow down and enjoy this for a little bit longer.
Knocked up on me. Oh yeah. You're so busy, like, enjoying everything and moving at such a fast pace. I didn't really even think about it. But I think that's a good sign. We were all living in the moment 100%. We were all here just doing day by day, having fun. From Norway, Sweden, Finland, Denmark, Faroes to here. Not thinking about even what the next day is necessarily going to be. Just enjoying the time.
Cool. Well, tonight, let's make the most of it. This is fantastic. I couldn't think of a better place to have a final night. The scenery is fantastic. It's some of the best we've seen this entire trip. And the company is fantastic. The weather's fantastic so far. Let's have a good night.
From the bottom of my heart, and I think everybody else in the tundra would like to say thank you very much for bringing us on here. It's a giant privilege.
We in the clone feel the same. This has been incredible.
I'm doing the same. Got a little bit of leveling to do, but this is nice.
Yeah, the weather. Love it.
Look at this.
So good. That's
Insanity.
Iceland. That's what I think of when I think of Iceland.
With it being our last camp night out, it's only right to see if Dan has been able to check his bucket list item of getting a photo for his wall.
I think it's looking pretty good.
Yeah, it looks great.
Did you get your shot?
You guys want to see it?
Yeah.
Oh, Dad!
I got Sophie hands.
That's a killer shot.
Yeah.
You must have had a good teacher, but also then grew stronger than your teacher at some point.
Oh, nice. It is good when the student surpasses the master.
But he surpassed the master in like 6 days.
I did too good of a job.
Maybe 6 weeks.
We may have a new prodigy on our hands. So I've officially lost count of the days. What is it, day 54?
Final nights on big adventures are always introspective, and I often lie in bed thinking about what or how I will ever be able to tell this story. I suppose one more good night of sleep in the cold Iceland air will help with that.
In travel, the views are nice, the trip's nice, the food is cool, all the experiences are awesome. But what I always come out from one of these expeditions remembering the most is the memories we had together as a team. Anytime you're struggling and in the situation, you might feel like this is awful. You want to go home, you want to be in a nice dry bed. Those are the moments that you'll remember the most. And you won't think back on them bitterly. so thankful for all the memories we have. You know, it's hard not to get emotional just thinking about it.
My role this time has been a little bit different, and it has really played to my strengths, which has given me so much more confidence. It's really solidified that the navigation and the planning is where I excel, and then throwing in driving and throwing in meal prep and cooking too makes it well-rounded, and I felt like I belonged here.
It's been said that life is about courage and going into the unknown and being comfortable with uncertainty, because truly the unexpected journeys and adventures and lessons along the way are what really enrich the experience, but also ultimately your life, I believe. And that's how it's been on this trip for sure.
I think everybody at some point in their life, whether it's just out of your state, should go travel. Travel is super important, and it just shows like other cultures of the world and stuff, and it kind of changes who you are and like your perspective on life a little bit.
It's an absolute privilege to be able to travel. It's not cheap, it's not easy. Most people aren't able to take the time to do it. It doesn't matter how you do it. If you have the opportunity to hop on a plane with a backpack, you're gonna learn so much about, you know, other people and cultures, but also about yourself. We take all of the money we make and invest that back into traveling.
I'm not going to try to wrap up this whole trip here, because I know that, like what I said before, everything over the rest of my life will be coming back at different times. And that's what I feel wraps up the trip for me. Is this is an experience that, of course, is once in a lifetime, that will last a lifetime.
This has probably been the most memorable 3 weeks I've had on one of these trips. It's gone by so fast.
This has been a life-giving trip to me. I think before I came here, I was a little occupied by a lot of details that maybe don't matter. And I think that right there is the benefit of travel. To step away from what you're doing, your daily life, the building of business or family or these troubles or those ideas. I haven't found in my 40 years on Earth another way that teaches me about myself as much as travel does. And it's one of those things you just have to go do it to experience it.
There are far too many variables in the world that will equate to the perfect time to travel. Ultimately, we must pick our time and put our best foot forward and go anyway. At the end of my life, I will hopefully have the opportunity to look in the rearview mirror and reflect. I'm determined to have that mirror full of all the life we fought to live and the twisted roads we decided to explore versus the long, straight road of plain existence that any of us can settle for. So here's to the big dreams, overland vehicles, and the next horizon. Together, they make for one big adventure. This trip into the Nordic countries has been one big bucket list, and to comprehend what we have seen and experienced will likely take months to mentally sort out. And that's okay, because that's also part of the fun of travel. And it ultimately leads you to your next destination, where our bucket list continues. With the world wide open again, we can now think bigger and look to further horizons.
Like get a couple propane tanks on one side.
And that's just what we have done. And the trucks are already on the water.